Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old as gold, but these Jefferson Nickel 5-cent coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today I have something truly exciting for you because we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in United States history. Yes, I am talking about the Jefferson Nickel from 1964, a coin that might be lying quietly in your drawer or hidden in an old jar of change, but its value and uniqueness will absolutely surprise you. I promise, by the end of this video, you'll look at every nickel differently, so stay with me and don't miss a single detail. The year 1964 was a remarkable one for US coinage. It was the final year when silver coins were still being made in dimes, quarters, and half dollars, but interestingly, the nickel was struck without silver. What makes the 1964 Jefferson Nickel stand out is not just the massive number of coins minted that year, but the rare varieties and mint errors that turned this everyday coin into a collector's treasure. While millions were produced, only a tiny portion carry those errors or remain in flawless condition, and those are the ones collectors crave the most. One of the most sought-after rarities of this coin is the famous full steps variety. If you look closely at Monticello, the building on the reverse side of the coin, you'll see steps leading up to the entrance. In most circulated coins, those steps appear blurry or worn out, but on rare examples, you can see every line and every detail of the steps in full clarity. Collectors go crazy over this detail because it's proof of a sharp strike, and that instantly makes the coin far more valuable. Another exciting detail about the 1964 nickel is the variety of mint marks. Some were struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, others in Denver with a small D on the reverse. But here's the thrill: there are error nickels where the mint mark appears doubled, misplaced, or struck with unusual strength. Those tiny little differences that most people overlook are what separate an ordinary pocket coin from a collector's jackpot. Imagine this: you might be holding a coin that millions have ignored for decades, but because of one tiny error, its price shoots sky high at auctions. Collectors from across the country chase after these gems, and bidding wars have broken out for high-grade examples. There are stories of coins found in old rolls or in a simple jar of change at home, later being sold in coin shows or markets for thousands of dollars. That's the beauty of coin hunting. It's like a treasure hunt where the prize could be in your hands right now without you even knowing it. Now, let me give some tips for collectors and coin finders watching this. Always check the condition of your 1964 nickel carefully under good lighting. Look for sharp details on Monticello's steps, examine the mint mark for any unusual signs, and try to spot doubling on the letters or numbers. If you find even the slightest oddity, protect that coin, store it properly, and consider getting it graded by a professional service. A graded and certified coin always sells for much more at auctions and coin markets than one left raw and unchecked. Collectors are especially drawn to this coin because it is the last nickel from the early 60s before the major changes in US coinage. It connects to history, it has artistic beauty, and it carries with it the thrill of potential hidden rarity. That's why demand for this coin is always high, and finding one in excellent condition is like striking gold for a coin enthusiast. And now, here comes the part you've been waiting for. The original market value price of a rare 1964 Jefferson Nickel in uncirculated, high-grade condition, or one carrying those rare error features, has been recorded at auction for as much as $15,000. Yes, $15,000 for a single nickel that most people would spend without thinking twice. Imagine discovering one in your collection and selling it at a coin show in New York or through an auction in Chicago. Life-changing, isn't it? So my friends, don't underestimate the power of an old nickel from 1964. Search your collections, check every detail, and keep your eyes sharp for those rare full-step varieties and unique minting errors. You might just hold a fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this thrilling dive into the world of coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because we're always uncovering treasures and sharing knowledge that could help you find your own rare coins. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin hunt bring you something truly extraordinary. Coin number 2. We are diving into a very exciting story from the world of American coinage, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but hides secrets that make it special in the eyes of collectors. I'm talking about the Jefferson Nickel from the year 1971 with the Denver mint mark. If you have one of these coins in your hands, don't let it slip away because the rarity, the unique errors, and the demand for this coin can turn a simple nickel into a valuable collector's prize. So stay tuned and listen carefully because every detail matters if you want to uncover the true worth of this hidden gem. The 1971 Jefferson Nickel was struck in huge numbers at the Denver Mint. Millions upon millions rolled out into circulation. But here is where the thrill begins. Out of those millions, only a very small number came out with rare striking errors or survived in absolutely flawless condition. These are the coins that collectors are chasing, and these are the ones that transform from pocket change into treasures worth thousands at auctions. What might look like a common nickel could actually be hiding a fortune if you take the time to examine it closely. One of the most fascinating features collectors search for in the 1971 Jefferson Nickel is the quality of the strike, especially when it comes to the Monticello building on the reverse side. A coin that shows full, sharp details of the steps leading up to Monticello is considered far rarer than a typical weak strike. These so-called full steps varieties are highly desirable because they prove the coin was struck with maximum precision, and they command much higher values in the collector's market. But that's not all. There are known examples of doubled dies on the 1971 Jefferson Nickel, where the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled when viewed under magnification. These errors were created during the minting process and make the coin unique, one of a kind, and extremely valuable. Collectors love error coins because no two are exactly alike, and this uniqueness drives demand through the roof. Imagine discovering a nickel with a doubled mint mark or unusual doubling on the date. Such a coin could make your collection stand out like no other. Now let's talk about condition. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning they passed through hands, pockets, and cash registers countless times, picking up scratches and wear along the way. That's why coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are so highly prized. A 1971 Jefferson Nickel kept safe all these years, with its luster intact and details sharp, is a rarity in itself and sells for far more than an average circulated example. Here's a tip for collectors who are eager to find these coins. Always look at the details under proper lighting. Examine Monticello carefully, check the steps for clarity, and look for unusual markings or doubling. Store the coin in a protective holder if you believe it has potential, and consider professional grading because a certified grade can multiply the coin's value instantly. Remember, a graded coin is always more attractive at coin shows, shops, and major auctions where serious collectors are ready to bid high. The thrill of hunting a coin like this is unmatched. Imagine pulling an old nickel from a jar or finding one in change, only to realize later it's not just 5 cents but a small fortune waiting for you. These are the stories collectors dream about, and the 1971 Jefferson Nickel is one of those coins that makes such dreams come true. And now the part you've been waiting for. The original market value price of a rare 1971 Jefferson Nickel in perfect uncirculated condition, especially with a full steps variety or doubling error, has reached as high as $10,000. Yes, $10,000 for a single nickel that could be found in a collection or even sold in major auctions in cities like Chicago or New York. That is the power of rarity, and that is why this coin is so highly desired by collectors everywhere. So my friends, never overlook a Jefferson Nickel from 1971 with the Denver Mint mark. It might look simple, but it carries history, artistry, and the chance of hidden rarity that can change its value completely. Check your collections, look closely at every detail, and who knows, you may be the next lucky collector to discover a treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this thrilling journey into the world of coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another chance to learn about valuable coins that could be sitting right in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting and may your coin hunts bring you treasures beyond imagination. Coin number 3. I have something truly thrilling to share with you because we are going to explore the Jefferson Nickel from the year 1974, a coin that may be sitting quietly in your pocket change or hidden deep inside your collection, but it carries secrets that can surprise even the most experienced collectors. I promise you this is not just another nickel story, so listen carefully because every detail matters when we talk about rarity and value. The Jefferson Nickel has been one of the longest running coins in American history, and the 1974 issue holds a very special place. It was struck during a decade of big change in the United States, a time when the mint was experimenting with new methods and millions of coins were pouring into circulation. But within those millions, some coins came out with special qualities, rare minting errors, and striking details that make them treasures today. Collectors know that most 1974 nickels were used in daily transactions, passed from hand to hand, losing their shine and detail over the years. That is exactly why finding one in crisp, uncirculated condition is such a prize. A coin that still carries its original luster, with no scratches or wear, instantly jumps into the high-demand category. And let me tell you, demand for this year is strong, especially among those who chase after the sharpest strikes. One of the greatest features collectors always look for is the Monticello steps on the reverse side of the coin. In most circulated examples, the steps are worn down and barely visible. But if you find a 1974 nickel with what experts call the full steps variety, you are holding a coin that is far more valuable. Those perfect steps are proof that the coin was struck with precision, and collectors will pay a premium to own such a piece. Now let's talk about minting errors, because this is where things get very exciting. Some 1974 Jefferson nickels show doubling on the date or lettering, creating what's known as a double die error. Others may have misplaced mint marks or unusual striking issues that happened during production. These error nickels are extremely popular because no two errors are exactly the same, making them unique treasures that stand out in any collection. Imagine the thrill of discovering a simple nickel in your change, looking closer under the light, and realizing you are holding a one-of-a-kind error coin that could bring big money at auctions. There are real stories of collectors who found such coins in rolls bought from banks and later sold them in markets and shows for thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coins. You never know when you'll strike gold, even with something as ordinary as a nickel. For all collectors watching this, here's an important tip. Always check the fine details on your coins, especially from the 1970s. Look at Monticello carefully, study the steps, check for doubling on letters and numbers, and don't ignore the mint mark. If you find a nickel that looks unusual or sharper than the rest, place it in a protective holder right away and consider sending it for grading. A graded coin will always sell for much higher at major auctions in cities like Dallas or Los Angeles than one that has not been certified. The Jefferson Nickel of 1974 is more than just a coin, it is a piece of American history, a piece of art, and a potential hidden treasure for those who pay attention. That is why collectors all over the world are keeping their eyes on this coin, searching, checking, and adding it to their collections with pride. And now the part you have been waiting for, the value reveal. The original market value price of a rare 1974 Jefferson nickel with full steps or a major error in uncirculated condition has sold in auctions for as much as $8,000. Yes, $8,000 for a nickel that many people would spend without a second thought, but in the right condition and in the right collector's hands, it becomes a true prize. So my friends, never overlook a 1974 Jefferson nickel again. Search your old coin jars, check your change, and look closely at every detail, because the next rare treasure might already be with you without you even knowing it. Collecting is not just a hobby, it's a journey, and coins like this make it an adventure worth living every single day. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting discovery. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your next find be worth more than you ever dreamed. Coin number 4. I have something truly exciting to share with you, because we're going to explore the fascinating story of the 1985 Jefferson Nickel with the Philadelphia mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another coin that passed through the hands of millions of Americans, but inside its details lies uniqueness, rarity, and the potential to be worth far more than just 5 cents. So stay tuned until the very end, because I will reveal the exact value this coin can bring in today's collector's market, and I promise you don't want to miss a single detail. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel is a coin from an interesting period in American coinage history. By the mid-1980s, the nickel had already been in circulation for decades, but the mint was still producing them in the millions each year. Most of these coins ended up in everyday use, tossed in jars, and spent countless times in shops and vending machines. That is why the majority of 1,985 nickels you find today are worn down, scratched, and far from perfect. But here's where the thrill begins. Among those millions, a small number of coins stand out with remarkable qualities and rare minting errors that make collectors chase after them with excitement. One of the most important details that makes the 1985 P. Jefferson Nickel special is the sharpness of the strike on Monticello, the building featured on the reverse side of the coin. Collectors are always hunting for examples where the steps of Monticello appear fully detailed and unbroken. These so-called full steps nickels are incredibly rare because striking a coin with that much precision was difficult. Finding a full steps 1985 P nickel in uncirculated condition is like discovering a hidden treasure, and it immediately elevates the coin into a higher value category. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get very exciting for collectors. There are examples of the 1985 P nickel with doubling on the date or lettering, known as double die errors. Some show misaligned strikes or unusual features with the mint mark that happened during production. These error coins are highly sought after because they are unique. No two error coins are exactly alike, and that uniqueness creates demand that pushes their price up in auctions and coin shows across the country. Imagine the thrill of pulling a nickel out of a roll, looking closer under good light, and realizing you found one with doubling on the letters or crisp full steps on Monticello. Suddenly, that simple coin isn't just pocket change anymore, it's a valuable piece of history that collectors would love to add to their sets. Stories like this are what make coin collecting such an exciting adventure. You never know when the next treasure will appear right in your hands. For collectors who are eager to check their coins, here's an important tip. Always look at your 1985p nickel under proper lighting or magnification. Pay attention to Monticello's steps, check the letters and date for any signs of doubling, and keep an eye on the mint mark. If you discover a coin that looks unusual or sharper than most, protect it immediately. Place it in a holder to avoid scratches, and consider sending it for professional grading. A graded coin certified as full steps or marked as an error will always sell for far higher prices in major auctions in cities like Chicago or Dallas compared to one that is ungraded. The Jefferson Nickel of 1985 is more than just another coin in circulation. It carries with it the artistry of American coin design, the history of the 1980s, and the excitement of rarity that collectors crave. That is why this coin continues to attract interest and why its demand in high quality or with unique errors remains so strong in the numismatic community. And now comes the part you have been waiting for. The original market value price of a rare 1985 Jefferson nickel with full steps in uncirculated condition or one carrying a unique error has been recorded in auctions for as much as $5,000. Yes, $5,000 for a single nickel that many people would overlook. But in the right condition and in the right market, it becomes a true treasure. So my friends, always keep your eyes open for the 1985p Jefferson nickel. Search through your change, dig into your coin jars, and check your old rolls carefully. You never know when you might come across a hidden gem worth far more than you expected. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, and it rewards those who pay close attention. If you enjoyed this thrilling journey into the story of a rare Jefferson nickel, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more exciting discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting and may your next coin hunt bring you something truly valuable. Coin number 5. Today we are going to talk about a nickel that most people would spend without even noticing, but in the world of collectors, it can be a hidden jewel. Yes, I'm talking about the Jefferson Nickel from the year 1990 with the Philadelphia mint mark. Don't underestimate this coin, because its rarity, its errors, and its unique details can make it worth far more than its face value. So stay with me, don't miss a word, because I will tell you everything you need to know about the uniqueness of this coin and finally reveal its surprising value. The 1990p Jefferson Nickel comes from an era when the mint was striking millions of coins each year to meet the demand of circulation. Most of these nickels were used daily, tossed around, and worn down, which is why so many examples today are scratched, dull, and without sharp detail. But within those millions, there are a small number of coins that stand out as treasures, coins in flawless condition or with minting errors that make collectors chase after them with excitement. Collectors especially look for coins with what we call the full steps detail on the Monticello building shown on the reverse of the nickel. In most 1990 nickels, those steps are weakly struck and not very clear. But if you find one with sharp, complete steps that show every line perfectly, you are holding a much rarer coin. These full steps nickels are a prize for collectors and can sell for much more than an ordinary strike, but the story doesn't end there. The 1990p nickel also has known minting errors that make it even more special. Some examples show doubling on the date or lettering, known as a double die error. Others show issues with the mint mark or even misaligned strikes. These error nickels are one of a kind, and collectors are always on the hunt for them because they add uniqueness and rarity to their collections. Imagine finding one of these unusual coins in your change and later realizing it could be worth a fortune at a coin show or auction. It's a thrill like no other. Condition plays another big role. Most 1990 nickels are circulated and far from perfect, but if you happen to own one that has been preserved in mint state, free from scratches, spots, and wear, then you are already holding a coin of higher value. Collectors pay premium prices for coins that still shine with their original luster. A coin that has been carefully kept and possibly even graded by a professional service can command impressive amounts at auctions in big cities like New York or Chicago. For collectors who are searching for treasures, here's a useful tip. Always take a close look at your Jefferson nickels, especially from the late 80s and early 90s. Pay attention to the Monticello steps, study the letters for any doubling, and don't ignore the mint mark. If you find a coin that looks different or sharper than the rest, protect it immediately, store it in a safe holder, and consider professional grading. A certified grade not only confirms its condition but also raises its market demand instantly. The Jefferson nickel of 1990 with the Philadelphia mint mark is more than just an ordinary coin. It is part of American history, it carries the beauty of design, and it has the hidden potential to surprise collectors with its value. That is why coin lovers everywhere are always looking for these hidden rarities, and why demand for the best quality examples remains high, and now the moment you have been waiting for. The original market value price of a rare 1990p Jefferson nickel with full steps in uncirculated condition or one carrying a unique error has reached as high as $3,000. Yes, $3,000 for a coin that most people would overlook and spend without thinking twice. But in the world of collectors and auctions, this nickel transforms from everyday change into a true treasure, so my friends, keep your eyes sharp when checking your coins. That 1990p Jefferson nickel in your pocket might not just be worth 5 cents, it could be worth a small fortune. Search carefully, enjoy the thrill of the hunt, and who knows, maybe the next great find is already in your collection. If you enjoyed this exciting journey into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another discovery. Until next time, happy collecting and may your next coin bring you joy and value beyond your imagination.